What's up guys? Today I'm going to be testing out all my wide angle lenses and we're going to find out what is the best vlogging lens. So this lens has to be good with steady shot. It's got to be good when you're walking around talking to the camera. It's got to be sharp. It's also got to be good in low light. So let's find out what's the best lens for vlogging. Alright, so this is the Sony 10-18. I've got two copies of this lens. This is one of the older ones that came in the white box, and then I've got another one that was manufactured in the orange box that's newer. So this is the older version of the 10-18. The reason why I'm actually putting both in there is because I want to see for myself which one I should keep and which one I should sell on eBay. So this is the older version. I've got steady shot off still. Next we're going to try it with steady shot on. So this is one of the worst places to walk with a gimbal because it's really bumpy and I'm sure it's probably kind of shaky. So I'm pushing the limits to test how steady this can be. Alright, so this is still the older version of the 10-18. Now we have steady shot on. A lot of people have told me to leave steady shot off when I'm filming on a gimbal because they said it causes a weird shaking motion. So I just want to test that again. I've actually made a video testing gimbal footage with steady shot on versus steady shot off. Another thing about this lens is the 10-18 is a lot lighter than that Opteka 8mm lens. So that's going to really help if you're holding a gimbal because as you can see I just switched arms. I'm already getting kind of tired holding this thing. So this is the Sony 10-18 with steady shot off. This lens is a lot lighter than the Opteka 8mm lens. When you're holding a gimbal, you can definitely tell the difference because the gimbal has a lot of weight to it as well. So if you're going to be vlogging with one of these lenses, you don't want to have to switch arms. So between the Opteka 8mm and the 10-18, the 10-18 is going to win as far as weight goes, but we still have the 16mm, which is the lightest of all the lenses. So now we've got the newer version of the 10-18 on the gimbal. I wanted to compare these two side by side because I think it's going to be one of these two that wins. I would really like to have a full frame wide angle lens that went down to 10. It wasn't ridiculously expensive, but right now that's not really an option for Sony. You can get a 12mm lens, you can get something that has autofocus, but it's going to be really expensive. And you can get a manual lens, but it's really hard to use a manual focus lens when you're vlogging with the A7S II because you don't have a flip screen and you can't see if you're going in and out of focus. So right now, I'm probably going to use the 10-18 either film in 4K and crop it down in post, or just zoom in with the digital zoom in the camera to 1.5, which is the size of a crop sensor lens when you're using it on a full frame camera. So we've got steady shot off. So now we've got steady shot back on. What I'm really trying to do with the two 10-18s is see if there's any problem with either of them when it comes to autofocus. I'm using continuous autofocus on both of these, and I want to see if it holds me in focus. It's on movie mode, so it should have a smooth autofocus on both of them. So we're going to see which one does a better job. because obviously I want to keep the one that works better for videos. I don't do a lot of photos with these crop sensor wide angle lenses. They're really just for talking to the camera. The reason I'm comparing the two is because Technology Mafia did a video where the older version of his 10-18 was just not a good copy of the lens, and it just wasn't nearly as sharp, so he bought another one, compared it, and there was a big difference between the two. So I took some photos with both, and I didn't see a lot of difference, but I'm going to see if there is a lot of difference with the video. Alright, so this is the Sony 16mm. This one is f2.8, so it's got a wider aperture than the 10-18 and the Opteka. The Opteka went down to 3.5, the 10-18 goes down to 4. So the Opteka is a little bit wider, but then the 16mm goes down to 2.8, so it lets in a lot more light, and it's a lot lighter. It's so much lighter than the 10-18 that I actually had to take the gimbal apart, flip it around just to use this lens. So I want to see how the autofocus works. It's sharp in the center, but it's really soft toward the outside edges on the 16mm. We've got steady shot still on. Cool thing about the 16mm is you can just take the back off and it's going to let a lot more light in. It's going to cover almost the entire sensor, so you don't really have to zoom in as much. I really like how portable this lens is. It's so small you can fit the camera in your pocket when you're vlogging with this lens. So that's one plus to this, because I've used this several times vlogging around a college campus, and it's just so portable and convenient. You can just stick it in your pocket and it's ready to go. Alright, so now I've got steady shot off. This is still the 16mm f2.8. Another good thing about the 16mm is that Sony makes converters. They make a wide angle converter and a fisheye converter. And this is actually the fisheye converter on the 16mm right now. So you can convert that 16mm into a wider fisheye lens. And it's still really light, it's tiny. So this is the Opteka 8mm fisheye lens. Before, during the intro, I had the steady shot on. Now I've got steady shot off. I want to see if you guys can tell a difference. We're gonna walk back up here. So this is steady shot off. We're in the Zhiyun crane. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful to you if you're out there looking for a wide angle lens for your Sony camera. Everybody's got different tastes, so some people might like one lens over the other, and some people might prefer the other lens. So I'm gonna do a lot of lens reviews, I'm gonna do a lot of tutorials, and then just videos about what I'm learning as I'm growing as a filmmaker. So if you guys are interested in taking that journey with me, definitely hit that subscribe button. And I've got some of my other videos over there, so check those out, and thanks for watching.